What's up, y'all? LinkFrostimus here, and hey, any Skids fans out there? Shut up. You don't exist. Stop lying. Masterpiece Skids and Reboost. A surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one. Why? Well, let's dive straight into a history lesson on Skids. Skids' claim to fame is that he's perhaps Transformers' first obscure character. He was part of the original toy line, but oddly enough, he was a late addition to the first year of toys. And this whole weird sandwiching his toy at the end of the first year thing is what probably made the G1 cartoon not really care about him. Late to the first year of toys, but not part of the second year, Skids only made 2 appearances in the original cartoon. That's it. Thus, spawning his reputation and legacy for being obscure. He did gain more spotlight in the original Marvel comic, but from what I've seen, all he does is just get horny when someone gives him a car wash.
Oh my.
So, it's his obscurity that surprised everyone when Takara announced that the next addition to the Masterpiece line is Skids. And from that announcement, I have never seen the Transformers community more unanimously hyped for a Masterpiece figure, at least in a long time. But, as typical Skids tradition, it wasn't even 10 seconds until he was overshadowed by someone else. Here comes Reboost. Announced simultaneously, Reboost is a new character that's actually Skids' Diaclone self. Diaclone being the Japanese toy line that Hasbro imported to make the Transformers. In Diaclone, there was the red Honda City R, now known in the Transformers universe as Reboost, and when it was imported to the Transformers line, it became the blue Honda City Turbo, Skids. And now, more than 30 years later, both are immortalized in the Masterpiece line, being designed as officially licensed Honda City Turbos by Kojin Ono, the same designer of the original Diaclone toy. And best of all, $80! Modern Masterpiece figures for $80? That's what won me over. But, is the price too good to be true? Well, folks, let's find out. Here is Skids in his Honda City Turbo mode and Reboost in his Honda City R mode. Now, what exactly is the difference? I don't know, we'll get into it, but oh my god, these cars, man. I love them. Now, like I said before, I'm not a car virgin, but I really dig the look and detail on them. It also helps that I just always found it awesome how all the pre-movie Autobot toys are real-life cars, and these guys do the Honda City justice as officially licensed products. And now for some quick Honda City facts from my buddy Emerson. Thanks, Emerson, I love you. It was never released in the US, and it was called the Jazz in Europe. Takara really made a Masterpiece Jazz before Masterpiece Jazz. Before the details, the paint. Mwah! Takara once again flexes on everyone with their amazing paint job. The glossy blue and red looks beautiful. Skids' red stripe is an amazing contrast too. Also, you gotta love these tainted windows. Skids' dark blue and Reboost's black goes great with their chassis colors. And if you don't have any interior detail to show off, tinting the windows so that you can't see inside is the way to go. But I do have to point out these paint boo-boos out of the box. Now, I'm pretty sure the scratch on top of Reboost came out of the box like this, but I know for sure that this paint scuff on Skids was like this out of the package. Disappointing. Especially when Takara's paint quality was finally starting to get better. Still though, the paint is lovely, and it's only further complemented by the amazing car detail. And here's where the differences come in. The fronts feature real-life car-accurate detail with amazing looking transparent headlights, grille details with that signature Honda logo. Skids even has the turbo logo on him. More lights, windshield wiper detail. The back of the side mirrors are painted, and Skids has got that elevated hood piece with that classic cartoon Autobot insignia. Whoa, this is a cool-ass car. But we're not done here yet. You can also open up their hoods to reveal engine detail. This is not that great. It's got some accurate detail, but Takara could have included so much more and just done a better job if they honestly wanted to. But still, a nice touch. And all that detail was just the front of the car. Ooh. Moving on to the side, we can see the side lights, the sculpted in hubcap and tire detail, the door handles. Oh my god, these door handles look so cool. And on the left side of the cars, we got gas lid covers. Oh yeah. And that turbo logo is proudly displayed on Skids' black stripes. Now at the top, we got the sunroof, this indent, this I don't know what this is called, and this, I don't know, antenna? That's it up here, but now at the bottom, no accurate detail. But this is a great case of bottom management. Aside from the thighs, you can't tell this is a robot down here. Awesome. Now it's time to throw it back and ooh, what a fine rear. They got the rear lights, they got the windshield wiper, they got the Honda logo, they got the Honda logo, they got the city logo license plate, they got these thing's what? And they got that painstakingly sculpted and etched city logo. It's amazing how tiny this thing is. And for the respective cars, they got the turbo and R logo right next to it. With all these details, comparing them to their real life versions, they're perfect. Painstakingly accurate. You can literally pass them down as scaled down versions of the real thing. This does mean that they aren't cartoon accurate, but they're just so much cooler this way. And we're not even done yet. They can roll really well, I must add. And in addition to the opening hood, the doors and trunk open up in a way that doesn't make me want to commit a crime, Bumblebee. There's no detail inside, understandable, but the looks of the cars with their doors open is a good look. It also serves another purpose, accessory storage. I'll go over the weapons in more depth in robot modes, but for now, the robot mode's weapons can be stored in their trunks. To open up the trunk, lift up the roof of the car, pull the trunk, swing it up, connect the roof back, and boom. Now we're ready to go camping. First with Skids. First, take this gun and plug it into that hole there. Easier said than done. Then, take the other gun and just place it inside. That's it. For Reboost, it's a bit different since it comes with 3 guns. First, take this gun, fold in the grip and barrel, but before plugging it in the trunk, connect the twin barrel gun here, and then plug it into the trunk. And for the last gun, just place it in. This is some great storage. It all fits in neatly and is well hidden, and nothing's left behind. It all fits in their car modes. This is the kind of accessory storage I want. But I'm gonna be honest, you guys, I lied. Technically, Reboost can't fit all of his accessories. In addition to the third gun, Reboost also comes with 2 more accessories. Saisho, Horomata Avatar, the Hollow Matter avatar. This is a transparent version of Spike that came with MP Bumblebee 2.0. He's got the same detail as him, and he also falls apart every time you try to pose him. So why does Reboost come with this? Well, this is actually a nod back to Daigo, a toy line of mecha piloted by humans. But since Reboost is now his own sentient being in the Transformers universe, I guess you could say that this guy is a remnant of that idea. You can have it sit inside the driver's seat, or you can have it drive this. Saigo, Componento X. Component X, aka the Motocompo. This is actually a real-life folding scooter that came with the Honda City R. The details again are immaculate, just like the real thing. And like the real thing, it can fold. And when it's compact like this, you can fit it inside the trunk. As if Reboost already didn't overshadow Skids enough, him coming with the Motocompo is a really nice addition. Some accessories that DiCola decides to add to MPs are just dumb and inflate the price, but not this one, an integral part of the Honda City experience. I cannot sing the praises of these vehicles enough. These things are, simply put, a masterpiece. Mastercraft sculpting, painting, and look make these cars works of art. Everything is super solid, they're a great size, and look great alongside their fellow MP allies. When Prime's leading a convoy, Skids and Reboost fit right in with the rest. If I had to say which one looks better, I love all the additional details on Skids, but I think the red and black look of Reboost looks so much better. And rightfully so. The red Honda City R was actually the first car that Ono-san owned, so it makes sense that he'd have a soft spot for it. The compact car and the glossy red and black screams 80s Japanese car vibes. This is the kind of car I want to drive around late at night listening to Japanese city pop. Both of these car modes are absolute delights, and I'm happy to say that it only gets better from here. Here is Skids and Reboost in their robot modes, and oh my god, they're so cool! But first, can I please talk about the transformation? It's been so long since we've had a simple and satisfying transformation on a masterpiece figure that doesn't make me want to pull my hair out. There's no mess, there's no managing multiple parts simultaneously, it's just a clean transformation that makes sense, and I love it. So satisfying. It's so good that I basically memorized the transformation just after one go. Yeah! And the result is the coolest that Skids has ever looked. When you look at him next to the cartoon model though, you notice that he isn't really cartoon accurate. But you know what? he's better off for it. Skids' design and aesthetic is actually based more on the Masterpiece toys pre-MP-54 Star Saber, where instead of hyper cartoon accuracy, it was more making modern definitive takes of the original toys with a nice blend of cartoon influence. And with how goofy some of the G1 cartoon characters look, especially Skids, this blend of toy-accurate sculpt and details with a cartoon-accurate paint job was the right direction to take him. Now let's take a better look at him in Reboost. Oh mama. These boys are beautiful. Totally awesome looking super robot life forms. Aside from their arms sticking out pretty far, their proportions are on point, and their beautiful color schemes enhance that magnificent toy-inspired sculpted in detail. They're both identical in terms of detail, but how the paint changes those details between the two is really neat. Man, it's just really nice to go back to a different era of Masterpiece. They're really rocking that aesthetic while still keeping that premium modern Masterpiece paint finish. Seriously, these two are a joy. But here's where sticking to the past shows its downsides. As good as the paint looks in vehicle mode, the robot mode isn't really given the exact same treatment. This creates a look where, on one body part, it's super shiny, but on a different section of that same part, it's just a dull, non-painted piece of plastic. It's a bit jarring. It's not that bad on Skids, but it's fairly noticeable on Reboost, mainly his arms. Basically, Takara didn't give the robot modes the entire full coat finish that they've been doing with the Hypertune Accuracy MPs. Come on guys. There's also a bit of sloppiness in the paint too, what the heck? And now we move on to their heads. Skids has never looked this good, but Reboost steals the spotlight by looking 10 times cooler. That OG Diaclone robot head gives off big original Optimus Prime / Battle Convoy vibes. You know, come to think of it, with a bit more blue, this guy is basically just Car Optimus. Seriously, the painted detail, the mask, the yellow eyes, huge Japanese robot vibes. I love it. Now while I said that Skids has never looked this good, his helmet especially looks cool, there's something about his face that looks really goofy. Yep. It's the lips. Depending on how you look at him, it can look pretty off. And the worst part is that Skids comes with no alternate faces to swap to. But is this because this is a pre-Star Saber MP, or that Skids was just a emotionless nobody in the original cartoon? I'm pretty sure the 3 Skids fans out there can answer that for me. Not that handsome of a face sculpt, but the overall thing still looks cool. Especially his eyes and that tiny piece of cyan there, that's cool. Their silhouettes are cool too, especially those car door wings. Rocking that look 10 times better than movie Bumblebee. Overall proportions are phenomenal. The front looks great, the sides show off their killer calves and a backpack that I don't mind, and their back's got some neat detail too, but this looks out of place. See what I mean? Unpainted plastic next to painted plastic, and this painted window cover-up on Reboost looks cheap next to the actual windows. Overall, in terms of look, they got it. Handsome looking boys. But, how do they fare in terms of battle? Let's start off with Skids. 最初、液体窒素ライフル。His cartoon-accurate liquid nitrogen rifle. It's small, but the details and paint is nice, and that gun barrel looks deadly. 最後、ツイン電池ブラスター。His toy-accurate twin electron blaster. Not only is the detail cool, I'm a sucker for chrome. That's hot. And they both plug in the same way. You can either have his weapons plug on the side or on top of his forearm, whatever way you want. And let me tell you, plugging them in like this instead of having him hold it traditionally is so much easier. But too bad they don't stay on too well. And now for Reboost. 最初、ダブルレーザーガントレット。The double laser gauntlet. It's actually the exact same thing as Skids' twin electron blaster. His other weapons are all Diaclone inspired with that sick chrome. 次に、ロケットポッド。The rocket pod. Detail is nice and you can even take out the rocket to make it look like he shot it. 最後、レーザーガン。The laser gun. In addition to it being the coolest looking, there's 2 ways Reboost can hold it. Traditionally, by locking into his forearm and wrapping his fingers around the grip, or by folding in the grip and plugging the gun into the side of the forearm. These accessories are so cool. Arming them for battle is fun, but again, poor Skids gets overshadowed by Reboost. He's got more, better looking accessories. At least Skids can hold all of his. You can't actually get Reboost to wield all 3 guns simultaneously, unless you connect it with the twin electron blaster, like for vehicle storage. Now these things are great, but there's 2 things I have a grudge with. First, no weapon storage. They either go on their arms or nowhere else. And because the weapon storage for the vehicle mode was so fantastic, this sucks even more. The other thing? No effect parts. I guess this is just another downside to them being not Hypertune accurate. And there's another downside with that philosophy. Articulation. Don't get me wrong, I know what I said previously may be misleading, but their articulation is actually not bad. Far from it. It's good. It's just not modern masterpiece good. You got the essentials like great arm articulation, the doors move out of the way for arm rotation, though rotating them makes them look really off, a waist swivel, take that Starscream, and they got all the leg essentials, including a ratcheted forward leg movement. But that's it. What are they missing? No butterfly joints, no neck joints, ankle tilts could have been better, and no ab crunch. Now this does seem like a few things, but this, combined with the arm rotation ruining their looks, makes them not up to par with modern masterpiece standards. Again, they're good, just not on the level we expect them to be. This does mean their T-pose, dab, and Iron Man capabilities take a hit, and they can't pull off the Optimus Prime as well as other MPs. Still, they got all the essentials. Their posability allows them to do some super expressive stuff. And you know what the best part about posing them is? The feel. Guys, these are the best feeling masterpiece figures that I've had the pleasure of handling in a long time. Joints are solid, nothing's loose, nothing feels like it's gonna break. They're perfect. I've said it before, these guys are delights. Not just with each other, but with other fellow masterpieces. Despite the focus on toy accurate details, Skids, even Reboost, fits right in with the Hypertune accurate masterpieces. They're a great size and definitely not out of place. Just like the car modes, the robot modes are fantastic. What else can I say? It's really everything that I expect from a masterpiece figure. Great look and great feel. Now for my favorite of the two, it's a given that Reboost's head looks a lot better, but I think Skids' color scheme gives him the better robot mode. All those blues and the hints of reds, it's all eye candy. Overall, these two absolutely killed it in robot mode. And now, let's rate them. You already know. Masterpiece Skids and Reboost, you know it. Amazing! And you already know it. These boys are worthy of the title Masterpiece! These two really feel like a return to form in terms of what to expect from the Masterpiece lines. Both modes are top notch. The feel is incredible. Finally, a good feeling masterpiece is just something we haven't had in forever, and these guys no doubt fulfill the role as the definitive versions of G1, Skids, and Reboost. Now some of you might be surprised that I didn't say that they were perfect, and well, I thought about this, but I feel as if I should be more strict on masterpiece figures. They're premium collectibles and should be treated as such, and as perfect as the Honda City modes are, there are a few things that are missing in the robot modes, but they're not far from perfect. They're so close too. And again, these guys are delights. A straight up fun time. I haven't had this much fun playing with the Masterpiece figure in so long, and the return to the pre-Star Saber aesthetic is refreshing, and it seems like it could continue on with MPG Shulky, and maybe even more characters besides the train bots. A blend of Hypertune MPs with pre-Star Saber MPs would be a nice change for the Masterpiece line. And if these guys sell well, who knows what the future holds? We'll just have to wait and see. But one thing's for sure now, Skids and Reboost are beacons of hope in the Masterpiece line. A prime example of how figures in this line should feel. This is the gift for Transformers fans this holiday season. With the feel, the look, and that sweet cheap price, there's a whole lot to love about Masterpiece Skids and Masterpiece Reboost. And there we have it, folks. Masterpiece Skids and Reboost reviewed. Thank you all so much for watching. Why not follow me on other platforms? LinkFrost_ on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Ooh, check out my gaming channel on YouTube at LinkFrost. Ooh, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Ooh, and guys, can we get 500 subscribers before we hit the end of the year? Thanks for watching, folks. Stay frosty, roll out. Happy holidays, and remember, folks, always support your local creators that don't obtain stolen goods. Bye-bye!
Oh, how it pains me to do this!